Hi, we are going to be starting our reading of the book of Bible stories. My name is Cherry Mahogany. In the last episode, we read chapters 1, 2, and 3, and today we're going to read 4, 5, and 6. We did 3 chapters last time. We're going to do 3 chapters today. So to start our reading, Noah and the Great Flood. This is the account of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So God said to Noah, I'm going to put an end to all the people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I'm surely going to destroy both of them and the earth. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood. Make rooms in it and coat it with pitch inside and out. I'm going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens, every creature that has the breath of life in it. Everything on earth will perish. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives. With you, you are to bring into the ark 2 of all living creatures, male and female, and keep them alive with you. You are to take every kind of food that is to be eaten and store it away as food for you and for them. Noah did everything just as God commanded. And Noah and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives entered the ark to escape the waters of the flood. And after the 7 days, the flood waters came on the earth. The waters rose and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the water. Every living creature on the face of the earth was wiped out. Men and animals and the creatures that move along the ground and the birds of the air were wiped out from among the earth. Only Noah was left and those with him on the ark. The waters flooded the earth for 150 days. But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock that were with him in the ark. And he sent a wind over the earth, and the waters receded. The water receded steadily from the earth. At the end of 150 days, the water had gone down. And on the 17th day of the seventh month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. After 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the ark and sent out a raven, and it kept flying back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water had receded from the surface of the ground. But the dove could find no place to set its feet because there was water all over the surface of the earth, so it returned to Noah. In the ark, he reached out his hand and took the dove and brought it back to himself in the ark. He waited 7 more days and again sent out the dove from the ark. When the dove returned to him in the evening, there in its beak was a freshly plucked olive leaf. Then Noah knew that the water had receded from the earth. He waited 7 more days and sent the dove out again, but this time it did not return to him. By the first day of the first month of Noah's 601st year, the water had dried up from the earth. Noah then removed the covering from the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. So Noah came out, together with his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives, all the animals and all the creatures that move along the ground, and all the birds, everything that moves on the earth came out from the ark, one kind after another. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be cut off by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth, and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant between me and you and all living creatures of every kind. Never again will the waters become a flood to destroy all life. And that is the end of Noah and the ark. Let me check the chat. Anybody chatting? Okay. Well, now we are on chapter 5. We're at the Tower of Babel. God blessed Noah and his sons, saying to them, Be fruitful and increase in number and fill the earth. After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. Altogether, Noah lived 950 years, and then he died. Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. All men moved eastward. They found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly. They used brick instead of stone and tar for mortar. Then they said, Come, let us build together ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens, so we may make a name for ourselves and not be scattered over the face of the whole earth. But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower that the men were building. And the Lord said, If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language, so they will not understand each other. So the Lord scattered them from there over all the earth, and they stopped building the city. That is why it is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of the whole world. From there the Lord scattered them over all the face of the whole earth. That was a short chapter. Now we have where Abraham offers Isaac to God. God chose a man named Abraham and a woman named Sarah to be the parents of a special people who would be known as the Israelites. Even though Abraham and Sarah were very old, God promised them they would have a son, Isaac, who would carry on the family line. Now the Lord was gracious to Sarah, and he said, and the Lord did for Sarah, Now the Lord was gracious to Sarah, as he had said, and the Lord did for Sarah what he had promised. Sarah became pregnant and bore a son to Abraham in his old age, at the very time God had promised him. Abraham gave the name Isaac to the son Sarah bore. Sometime later, God tested Abraham. He said to him, Abraham, here I am, he replied. Then God said, Take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will tell you about. Early the next morning, Abraham got up, saddled his donkey, and he took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut down enough wood for the burnt offering, he set out the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. He said to his servants, Stay here with the donkey while I and the boy go over there. We will worship, and then we will come back to you. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac, and he himself carried the fire and the knife. As the two of them went together, Isaac spoke up and said to his father, Abraham, "Father?" "Yes, my son," Abraham replied. "The fire and the wood are here," Isaac said, "but where is the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham answered, "God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son." And the two of them went on together. When they reached the place God had told him about, Abraham built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. Then he reached out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, "Abraham, Abraham!" "Here I am," he replied. "Do not lay a hand on the boy," he said. "Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son." Abraham looked up, and there in a thicket he saw a ram caught by its horns. He went over and took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham called that place, "The Lord will provide." And to this day it is said, "On the mountain of the Lord it will be provided." So we have completed 3 chapters today. But if you're up for it, I'll do one more. Pharaoh's daughter finds Moses. Many years passed. During a great famine, Abraham's descendants moved to Egypt to find food. Eventually, they became the slaves of Pharaoh, but God still remembered his chosen people and was planning a way to set them free. Now a man of the house of Levi married a Levite woman, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. When she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him for 3 months. But when she could not hide him any longer, she got a parabis basket for him, coated it with tar and pitch. Then she placed the child in it and put it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile. His sister stood at a distance to see what would happen. Then Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the riverbank. She saw the basket among the reeds and sent her slave girl to get it. She opened it and saw the baby. He was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This is one of the Hebrew babies," she said. Then his sister asked Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you?" "Yes, go," she answered, and the girl went and got the baby's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this baby and nurse him for me, and I will pay you." So the woman took the baby and nursed him. When the child grew older, she took him to the Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses, saying, "I drew him out of the water." And that is the end of episode 2 from the reading of the Book of Bible Stories. I thank you for watching, and let's check out the text. Hi Isaac. How are you, Isaac? Abraham's son's name is Isaac. So this is episode 2. If you like how this is going, the next episode we'll do 3 or 4 more chapters. They're very short. So I'll keep these brief, and I thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here, Isaac. Bye. Have a great day.